Hello everyone, today I will be demonstrating how to explore the facial and lingual surfaces of tooth number 24 and tooth number 25 with the 1112 Explorer. So first I want to demonstrate how to do the modified pen grasp, and you do so by placing your index finger and thumb on the opposing sides of the handle. You also want your handle to be at your third knuckle and create a soft C shape, and you want your middle finger to be resting on the terminal shank. And then you want to use your fulcrum finger as a stabilizing force about 2 to 3 teeth away from the tooth that you're working on. And these 3 fingers should maintain contact at all times. Now we want to select the correct working end for the anterior facial surfaces towards the clinician, which is the facial distal of 25 and the facial mesial of 24. You want to hold the working end in the interproximal area of the tooth that you're working on and see that the terminal shank overlaps the tooth that you're working on while the tip hugs around the tooth. So this is the facial distal of 25. And this is the facial mesial of tooth number 24. And as you can see, the terminal shank is overlapping the tooth, while the functional shank goes up and over the tooth that we're working on. For the anterior lingual surfaces towards the clinician, which is the lingual distal of 25 and the lingual mesial of 24, we can flip around the instrument, and then just to make sure, we can check that the terminal shank overlaps the tooth that we were working on. So we'll stick it here. That's how it should look like. And then same for 24. That's how that should look like as well. Starting with the facial distal of 25, we want to position ourselves in 8 to 9 o'clock position to the front of the patient and get into our modified pen grasp. Now we want to fulcrum about 1 to 4 teeth away from the tooth that we're working on. Select the correct end and adapt our working end tip or leading third to the midline of the tooth. Now we are going to start going towards the distal line angle with our side to side strokes, and we want to go 12 to 1, 12 to 1, 12 to 1. And we are starting with our elbows outwards, but going inwards as we reach that interproximal area. So now I'm rolling now that I'm at the distal line angle. And in that interproximal area, I'm going about half the way in and going side to side. Now we are going towards the mesial of the facial surface of tooth number 24. Same thing, adapt the tip to the midline of the tooth. But now we are going towards the mesial of 24 with our side to side strokes going 12 to 1. And we are rocking, pivoting our elbows inwards. And once we get into that interproximal space, we go side to side, halfway in. So now we're going to do the lingual surfaces towards the clinician, which is the distal of 25 and the mesial of 24. And we're just going to do the same thing, same movements, and then we're going to, of course, adapt the tip to the midline of the tooth that we're working on. So let's start with 25 and do our side to side, side to side, side to side, side to side. And then we are going to bring our elbows out. And then once we're in that interproximal area, just side to side, side to side, halfway in. So I'll do it again with 24, elbows in. We're gonna go side to side, side to side, side to side, side to side, pivot, side to side, pivot and roll. And then we're in that interproximal space where we go side to side, side to side. So now we are going to do the facial surfaces away from the clinician. And as you can see, I am at my 11 to 1 position. I'm at 12 o'clock. We're gonna select the correct end. It's gonna be the mesial of 25 and the distal of 24. It should look like that. So let's start with our elbows inwards, and then as we pivot towards that mesial line angle for 25 or distal line angle for 24, our elbows will start to pivot outwards. So let's start their MPG. Stand tall, fulcrum about 1/4 teeth away, and then do our side to side strokes, starting at the midline. And I rolled into that interproximal space. Now I'm doing side to side in the interproximal space. So let's do it again for 24 towards the distal line angle. Now I'm pivoting and rolling towards that interproximal space. Do it again, closer to the camera. Rocking, pivoting, and rolling into that interproximal space. Lastly, we want to do the anterior lingual surfaces facing away from us, which is the lingual mesial surface of tooth number 25. Here's the correct end. And the lingual distal surface of tooth number 24. So same thing, we're gonna be at our 11 to 1 o'clock position. And here we are going to start with our elbows inwards, and we're gonna start pivoting them outwards as we get to the interproximal space. So let's stand tall, get into our MPG. And doing our 12 to 1. Side, 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 pivot, and then rolling into that interproximal space, going side to side. So we'll do that again for the distal line angle of 24, starting with the tip adapted to the midline of 24. We're going side to side, side to side, and pivoting, bringing our elbows in, rolling into that interproximal space. Let's try that again. Pivoting. And then rolling into the interproximal space.